Now we got a little fight down under midweek. Skye Nicholson against Mariah Turner. Mariah Turner, not much about her, but on paper could deliver some threats towards Skye Nicholson, as she's killing it on the domestic scene. And if I'm completely honest, when you see her fight, she shows similar signs of Tiara Brown, the woman who upset Skye Nicholson. So overall, this could be a potential upset or another 10-round domination from Skye. Now, when you see her last fight against Yohalan Luna, lovely pronunciation by me, you'll see she mastered the feints the way I know she does throw out range, which it can be frustrating because she does only throw in ones, a lot of single shots, not a lot of combinations where she mixes in the middle and then boxes on the back foot. It's more because she's got an amateur pedigree where she feints, tries a counter punch, if not she'll just throw a jab or left out of range or a check hook like that. And you'll see there, that left hook on the pipe and then moves on the inside and just pretty much is just makes her smother her work, because she knows Luna will only throw on the inside. She won't box at range because she's just fighting a losing battle if she does that. So Nicholson goes back on the front foot, takes the tempo, moves back, and all the Luna's shots miss there. So she knows how to measure her distance, she knows how to use her range. You see there, that left hook and that little sneaky right jab. Then she resets, pivots around, and then bosh, dictates the tempo, and then pretty much just bosses in the ring. But you see here that left, when she tries to pivot around, that left is always a struggle, and she landed it there as well when she tried to check hook, but she's good at displaying it where she got the better of that towards the judges, where if you slow it down, you'll see exactly here that her left hook landed and Skye Nicholson used her right hand to be like, look at me, I covered it, when it didn't when you slow-mo it. So she's good at disguising it, but that left shot from an orthodox stance is the key against someone like Skye Nicholson, which Tiara Brown mastered to a T. So with Skye, she just needs to do what she needs to do, if I'm honest. Just box and move, get in your rhythm, do exactly what you usually do, but you just got to throw more. It's just simple as that. And you'll see there when she fights on the inside, because she's not used to fighting on the inside, look how wide her hook's up, where it's a bit slappy and she gets caught with one. Now with Mariah Turner, she's a high volume puncher. She comes forward at you, always on the front foot. She cuts the ring well, just throws non-stop, even if she misses. So again, that pressure could overwhelm and trouble Skye at times, but Skye is usually calm on the back foot, which can be one of her advantages. But Mariah Turner can also exploit at the same time. And although there's not much fight footage of Mariah Turner, if you box rec her and you try and see stuff on her socials, she's actually quite decent, and she's doing well on the domestic scene. And Tasman Fighters, which is the biggest promotion company I'd say in the Oceania region, they're backing her quite a lot. So she ain't no mug, and she has the potential to make this an upset. And you'll see here where she's fighting, she's just relentless. Hooks, uppercuts, you're jabbing right when she's fighting on range. So this could be interesting. And one thing I do like about it is when you see her jab and she throw her lead left hook, she's defensively minded where she's parrying at the same time, or she's keeping that right hand up, which is key. So fundamentally, she's solid. Not as much where she has a good amateur pedigree like Nicholson, but you'll see when the other one threw that right hand there, both hands up, covered, rolls under, nearly land that left hook. But you see her mindset is just defense before offense, which you need to do against someone like Skye Nicholson, because you got to land. It's a fight of inches where you got to land first, because if you don't land first and she lands before you, she's going to brutally just beat you down for 10 rounds, where it's not in a factor where it's just large blows accumulating. It's just more of the fact of demoralizing you, where you're scared to commit, you're scared to throw. Well, as we saw with Ezra Taylor against Willie Hutchinson, for example, if you watch that fight, which that could be a carbon copy of, because Willie Hutchinson and Skye Nicholson are both technical fighters, but obviously one switch stance, one's not, one's at a heavier weight, one's not. But for the keys fixed with Skye is quite simple. As I said, more volume. You got to bewilder Turner. You know, you got to just pretty much come at her with more than a plan A. You need a plan B and C, which, if I'm honest, against Tiara Brown didn't look like she had. You got throwing 2s and 3s, which obviously backs up the point of volume. And don't get complacent on the back foot, because there's times where she does and she gets caught with silly shots because she's not defensively minded, where she's like, do you know what, her punches ain't hurting, let me just lay on the back foot, try and counter punch, and then get caught with 2 to try and land 3. But that could cost you, where if Mariah Turner does what she does here, use her straight as a jab, that could be that equalizer to the punch that dictates everything in her favour, where we see Skye Nicholson gets caught shots like that a lot when she's trying to pivot around. But you got to disrupt her rhythm as well, because if you disrupt her rhythm, get her uncomfortable, and you drag onto the inside and then throw punches of your own where she tries to land on the inside and fight you at your game, that could be very, very devastating for Skye. So I do believe, if I'm completely honest, this fight has a recipe for either a 10-round war or a 10-round stinkfest. No offense to Skye, great boxer, but to watch, nah. And I'll be honest, am I going to be watching this fight? Absolutely not. I'll be at work not worrying about this fight, and I'll probably just see it come up on Twitter. But enough of that. I do believe it'll be a 10-round domination stinkfest from Skye. I do believe she'll box, move, land a few shots. She will up the volume, I do believe, at times, and she might have to work on the inside, and I do believe that could be in Turner's favour, where she nabs a few of the rounds. But I do believe it'll be a very, very wide decision victory for Skye. I do believe it would push her on to greater things, but at the same time, I still don't think she's ready for Serrano or Taylor's or that sort of pedigree yet. I do believe, if I'm completely honest, when she fought Raven Chapman, she boxed well against someone who is a fringe world level fighter, where that could be her level. Because I'll be honest, if I'm completely honest, I know she's a top amateur, I know she's done well as Olympian, but she hasn't shown signs to me where I'm like, do you know what, she's at elite level. Let's test her against, the greats of people like the Taylors, the Chantel Camerons, the Serranos, that sort of pedigree. I don't believe she's ready for that sort of level yet. Maybe she'll prove me wrong, but I don't think she will. I think all three of them will absolutely wipe the floor with her. But my prediction, as I said, Skye Nicholson wide points victory. It will be competitive, but it'll be pretty easy. And if I'm completely honest, it'll be an absolute stinker. We all know that. Everyone knows that. But shout out the Aussies. They'll make a good atmosphere. But that is all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and as always, the same financial advice. This is going to be what I'll be betting back in based off my own research. Have a great day, boys.